विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतम् मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् Verse 83 भुञ्जानोऽपि निज आरब्धम् आस्थातिशयतो निशं ध्यातुं शक्तो न सन्देहः विषयव्यसनी यथा. So in this verses 74 to 122 there is a comparison, very important topic, Nirguna Brahma Dhyanam Upasanam and Nirguna Brahma Jnanam Nididhyasana. So, well, in the comparison we have to do because there is something which is common, yet they are different. If something is common, we should not say there are two things, Upasanam and Nididhyasanam. But there is something which is common, there is something which is uncommon. What is common? Aham Brahmasmi Vritti in Upasaka and Nididhyasana Karta is common. But because of difference in the mindset, one is superimposing Brahman upon oneself, which is Ahangara Upasana, I told you last time. And while one is for other person, it is a fact. He is only repeating it. Vritti Avritti he is doing, Nididhyasana Karta also is doing, in order to get rid of this one small obstacle called Viparyaya. So, for him, Aham Brahmasmi is a fact. For this person, it is not a fact. He says, I am samsari, I will gain freedom by, understanding I am Brahman, etc. But right now, it is not a fact. So, it is he superimposing upon. So, that is, one is having a Jnana Abhasa Vritti, other has a, he is also doing Jnana Abhasa Vritti Avritti, Upasaka. And here this person has a Jnana Vritti, but he is also Vritti Avritti, he is also repeating it. So basically this Jnana Abhasa and this Jnana Vritti. Anyway, but how for one person it is fact and for other person it is not a fact. Anyway, so constantly calling. So the mindset, how the difference in the mindset, because of this exposure to the teaching and exposure to the teaching, both have still, one can have a abhasa because of the obstacles, known unknown obstacles, drishta drishta. Anyway. So, well, for the other person, since the obstacles were not there, well, through the teaching, he realized this fact that I am Brahman. And therefore, after that, he has not to entertain thought as such. Suppose he is able to get rid of even this Viparyaya, then he has not to entertain this thought, I am Brahman, etc. Like we know, if I am a married person, I am not to entertain this thought, right? That I am married, I am married, I am married. That could be possible initially. When you get married, then you may have to for some time, you have to remember that now you are not a bachelor, well, you are married, perhaps. But then later, well, it's a fact for you, and so you do not have to remember all the time, or remind yourself, or entertain this thought that I am married, etc. So same thing for a jnani, it is really not required to entertain this thought I am Brahman, etc. But for upasaka, of course, he has to do it. This vritti avritti means he has to entertain this thought I am Brahman, etc. Because he looks upon himself as a samsari, and therefore definitely in order to get rid of this samsara, all the issues related to samsara, well, he reminds himself, and because he also wants to be free. So this is, they give an example that it is like, you use a deodorant in order to mask or overshadow your own body odor. So you have to constantly do that. So even in morning you apply it after a bath, then within few hours it goes away. Then they again apply. Or you take a bath, then suppose you take a bath again, then you still again you apply that deodorant. So because that foul smell you want to cover it, you want to superimpose it with deodorant. So like that. So I am samsari definitely is like this bad smell. It's a bad odor, and you want to mask it with well, I am Brahman, I am free. Brahman and moksha are one thing alone. Why moksha? Atma means moksha. No. Atma, knowing Atma, there is moksha. Means it's a result of this knowledge. Forget it. It's not something, it's not an event, it's not a phenomena, it's not an experience, nothing. Moksha means just you. That's it. Atma means moksha. There is another name for Atma, moksha. Anyway, so that don't think of that Atma Jnanam results into moksha, means some kind of a phalam, some kind of an event. Nothing is there. We have discussed this before. Anyway, so basically, this aham, I am free, I am Brahman, well, he entertains it, well, he basically overshadows his aham samsari, that bad order, he overshadows, well, with this aham brahmasmi. So moksha is a fragrance, a deodorant. And with that, he deodors this, right? So he masks it, he superimposes upon oneself. Anyway, so, and how long we should do that? Well, we should continue till you, well, gain this knowledge that I am free. So for you also it becomes a fact. Aham brahmasmi will be a fact like that other person say. So you continue with that, etc. So, this is a conditioning, of course, but it's a positive conditioning that will ultimately entertaining this kind of a vritti, that is very important. And this conditioning we do also, superimposition we do, and we do upasana, other Saguna Brahma upasana also we do the same way. So initially you superimpose upon a stone that he is a Shiva. Here this is a Shiva, this is Shiva. So you have superimposed, otherwise this is a stone only. And after some time, that becomes a live Shiva for you. To the extent that you ask, you present your confusion, etc. in prayers, then you ask for something, and then you may have some pain resulting into certain, family conflicts or something. Well, you go and cry also, and talk to him also, and maybe scolding him also. It's all stone, but it all definitely helps. That superimposition, conditioning, has helped the person in Saguna Brahma Upasana also. Anyway, and so same way here also in Nirguna Brahma Upasana, etc., conditioning this with this thought, I am Brahman, etc., for the person whose reality, for his reality is, for him the reality is, I am samsari. Well, so it definitely helps the person to great extent. Of course, that will have become a fact later. Once the obstacle goes away. So, Nija Arabdam Bhunjanaha api. Even though he is experiencing his prarabdha, this upasaka. So, what is the arrangement here is, up to few verses he will talk about this jnani, then again he will few verses he will talk about the upasaka, then again few verses he talks about a jnani. Like that, it will go on up to 122. So, after few verses, I think on 87 onwards, he will talk about a jnani. So, that's how he shows, he compares both. So, Nija Arabdham, Nija means Swarabdham. Even though he is experiencing his own Prarabdha, well, Prarabdham is again in all these issues. So, so to suppress that samsara, well, Astha Atishayataha. Astha means Shraddha. So, because of the Atishayataha means intense. Because of the intense Shraddha to this thought pattern given by the teacher and teaching, whatever. Shastra, that you meditate like this, aham brahmasmi, you meditate. And he has a Shraddha. We talked also, Shraddhaluhu, it has come before. So, Atishay, so because of the this intense Shraddha in the teacher and the teaching, Anisham Dhyatum Shaktah, Anisham, continuously. Dhyatum Shaktah, it's an adverb. Anisham Dhyatum Shaktah, he continuously able to practice this. Aham Brahmasmi. He retains this thought. He entertains this thought continuously. Na sandeha. Well, there is no doubt about this practice. It's just as the Bhaktas well have used this Saguna Brahma Dhyanam, etc. to forget their samsara worries. Similarly, here in Nirguna Brahma Upasana. And he gives an example. Yatha Vishaya Vesani. Just a person is addicted to some object or attached to some person. Well, similarly, this Aham Brahmasmi thought also, addiction can be developed. Initially, you have to do that for some time, then it will continue. It can be developed by practice. And that Vishaya Vesani example he has given, right? Yatha, this example. That he explains in now 84, 85, 86, 3 verses. That how Vishaya Vesani, in a positive way, negative way, you can look upon it. So, I mean, obsession for a person, obsession for a object, can how it can help the person, etc. It is been said here. So, verse 84. Paravyasanini nari vyagrapi griha karmani Tadevasvadayatyantah parasangarasayanam. Paravyasanini nari means it's an example of a woman who is a grihini, who is in a house, and she is engaged in a lot of activities in house, but intensely attached to someone in a house, mostly, who is in the house, but who is not present in the house, let's say. Connected to that person, connected to the woman. And because of the absence of that person, she is thinking that, thinking of that person continuously. Even her body is working in the home. She is doing, but her mind is constantly engaged into the person. So constantly thinks of the person. Paraha means anyaha. And Anya can be even, you can take even a child. Suppose a child, person may, a couple sometimes have one child, and naturally she is very much attached to the child, and the child now grows and he is studying in some college and not in the same city, somewhere else. Then she is doing a lot of activity, the mother is doing a lot of activity in the home, but she is constantly thinking of that son or husband sometimes, working in some other city, etc., and not in the house right now, present. So she is working a lot in the home, but her mind is continuously engaged in that person, in her husband, because of attachment. And this is in a negative way or positive you can take, or, well, if no, sorry, it's negative way. Okay, then Bhagavad example is, Paravyasani Gopi. Well, it's a positive example. Well, all the gopis were extremely involved in the all household activities, family duties, etc. But that mind all the time revels in Krishna. So Paraha means here Paramatma also you can take. Krishna. So Griha Karmani Vyagra api. So this gopi who is engaged, involved. Vyagra here means who is engaged or involved in the Griha Karma, in the household activities, family duties. Tadeva Pararanga Rasayanam. Well, at the same time, she is, Aswadayati. Parasanga eva Rasayanam Aswadayati. Aswadayati means she has a taste. Well, she constantly revels, let us say. She constantly revels in a Parasanga, Krishna Sanga Rasayanam. Rasayanam means Amrutam, a source of Ananda. So she all the time revels in the association of Lord Krishna, etc. So she has not to practice it. It keeps whatever she is doing. That body keeps doing it, but her mind is constantly engaged, entertaining the thought pertaining to Krishna. So these things are there. Aswadayati means enjoying, tasting. What? Rasayanam. Rasayanam is Amrutam, nectar. Parasanga, Krishna Sanga, associated with Krishna. They had an association with the Krishna, and those experiences, all these gopis constantly revel into, even while doing their own family duties. Same way our Nirguna Brahma Upasaka also may be doing certain activity. Of course, we are going to say, we are going to talk about it, the activity, etc. Not much possible, but still his mind constantly practices Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi continues. Initially you have to entertain, and then afterwards it continues like that. Verse 85. Parasangam swadayantyaha apino griha karma tat kunti bhavedapi tve tat kunti bhavedapi tve tat apate naiva vartate. So Vidyaranya says, well, if it is possible to entertain this Brahma Vritti and continue to do worldly activity, well, and for that we can definitely take a statement of Bhagavan in the 8th chapter, that Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha. So because that I told you in the 8th chapter, it's one should continue with the Ishvara Dhyanam, Ishvara Upasana, resorting to Alambanam called Omkara, Omite Kaksharam Brahma Vyaharan Mam Anusmaran, etc. etc. And so this Anusmaranam means the smaranam of by the mind automatically. Initially, well, they have to do smaranam. Then it is anusmaranam only, means it continues. Yudhyacha. Yudhyacha means here it is fighting in case of Arjuna, but in case of other people, doing their own daily chores, etc. So, parasangam aswadayantyaha. So a woman who is enjoying Krishna's thought all the time, or husband's thought, or whatever, all the time, well, other people may think, they were saying also these gopis are mad, etc. etc. But no, so definitely gopis, definitely, all this, when Acharya says, well, these yogis, they are trying hard to think of Lord, and to keep the Lord in the mind constantly. They are trying hard and not able to succeed. Whereas for gopis, they want to drive him away from the mind, but they are not able to do it. So both have a different, opposite. Yogis are trying to retain thought pertaining to Brahman, means Krishna. Well, they are not able to do it. Krishna runs away. For gopis, they want to drive him away from their mind, but that is not also possible for them. Anyway, so Parasangam Swadayantyaha, it's a 6x1. A woman, for a woman who is enjoying this Krishna's thought, etc., all the time, well, api, that griha karma, that family activity, no kunti bhavet. For this woman, for the gopi, well, this activity all family activities, family duties. Na kunti, no kunti bhavet means na means not. U means it's for emphasis. At all, not at all. Na u, no means never. No is equal to never. No kunti bhavet means, well, they are not disturbed at all. What? Griha karma. Griha karma are not disturbed at all. All activities are done properly. Apitu, on the other hand, etat, well, all activities apatene vartate. Only question is, they are only done mechanically. It's not that they are not doing duties. That is going to be told that even the duties, etc. also, some kind of a problem occurs in the duties. But anyway, apatena eva vartate, they are only done superficially, mechanically, indifferently, you can say. Means after doing a duty, they may feel that like a cooking. This all you should see in Bhagavatam, that the family duties which the gopis are doing, what kind of mistake they are doing. My God. So anyway, I don't want to go into that, but you will come to know if you read Bhagavatam. Several mistakes they do. They they go to the well and fetch the water and fill the water, fill the pot. And that pot is very heavy. And they are trying to lift. But in mind, actually, that's the body is doing that. But in mind, Krishna is there all the time. So they feel here now that Krishna has come and he is helping me to lift this pot. And so therefore, while lifting, she feels that the other person, the Krishna is there and he is helping me. So she leaves the hand and pot falls and breaks. Like that, several things. Even while milking the cows also, suddenly Krishna comes and says, give me some milk. And so now instead of putting, the udder directed towards all in the pot, milking, but when they feel that Krishna has come and asking for the milk, so she turns this udder of that cow on the other side and thinking that now Krishna is drinking. No one is drinking. All the milk has fallen everywhere. And then her mother-in-law will come and scolds her too much. So this kind of a thing. I mean, activities are done, but mechanically. All mechanically. Apatene vivartate. Apatene means mechanical. Same way this upasaka can maintain aham brahmasmi vritti, and afterwards, it will remain. And initially, of course, this upasaka has to maintain it, well, and in contrast to the jnani, who has not to maintain even that vritti, aham brahmasmi, etc. So, verse 86. Grihakritya vyasanini yatha samyak karoti tat parabhyasanini tadvat nakarotyeva sarvatha. So now it is difference between a woman who mechanically doing all the activities, household things, whose mind is attached to someone who is not in the house, who is outside the house. If he is in the house, there is no question of mind, to mind revel into that, because the present person is present, but he is not in the house. So on the other hand, well, now they are giving an example of another grihini, another woman, whose total personality is involved in this griha karma, in family duties, perfectly well, mindfully. So that difference will be shown here. And so we are going to compare. The jnani is doing all the duties perfectly. This upasaka is not able to do. He has to maintain that vritti, etc. So grihakritya vyasanini. Grihakritya vyasanini. One who is vyasani, who is fond of doing family duties. Or let's say one who is fond of doing cooking and other things like that. Tat samyak yatha karoti. She does it. Because she has nobody in her mind. So, well, she does it perfectly. Paravyasani tadvat na karoti. Whereas this is not possible for the woman whose mind is attached to the person who is not in the home. They want humans, he will not be able to, and then she is also doing her family duties, but her heart is not there. Mechanically, apate neva karoti. He won't do that, she will not be able to do the job properly. So similarly, this Upasaka also won't be a total mindful in his Vyavara. He does, but his mind is totally not there behind all the activities, all Vyavaras. Whereas Jnani can be very mindful in Vyavara itself. What is the reason he is going to tell? Means that way, Vyavara, in terms of Vyavara, Jnani is far superior than this Ajnani. It looks like that. Ajnani and who is doing Upasana. Jnani is far superior because the Upasaka who is Ajnani, of course, and he is superimposing this and entertaining this vritti, Aham Brahmasmi, then your mind is totally engaged there. Therefore, your mind is not there behind Vyavara. And therefore, even though mechanically the person is doing, but it's not that effective. Whereas Jnani, for some reason, it is going to come. For some reason, Jnani is doing the Vyavara perfectly. That way, he is far superior in position. Only thing is, it's a vision. There is nothing else. Vision only. And that vision brings this Vyavara, effectivity in Vyavara. So from 87, now again on the stage, this Jnani. Up to 86, so now he talked about this Upasaka. Now again he talks about Jnani. So that way he shows the difference between them. Verse 87. Evam dhyanaikanishtopi leshat laukikamarabhet tattvavitva virodhitvat laukikam samyagacharet. So difference between Upasaka and Jnani has been shown here, now talking about Jnani. So while Upasakas want to retain this Aham Brahmasmi Vritti, as we discussed, all the time he has to superimpose upon oneself Ahankara Upasana. He has to superimpose upon oneself Aham Brahmasmi, etc. It's like that our deodorant. All the time you have to apply in order to cover ultimately this bad smell of the body. Same way, this person also constantly, because if he doesn't do that, what is in his awareness that he is a samsari and he is subject to prarabdha, etc. So he has to continuously do this, the spray or deodorant spray all the time, and that person definitely, since he thinks that he is subject to prarabdha, etc. So definitely he is afraid of laukik vyavahara also, because while contacting with the world, right, brings a sukha dukkha, etc. And he knows that he is subject to prarabdha also. Therefore, he is afraid of laukik vyavahara. Jnani is not afraid of laukik vyavahara. He does not have to withdraw from the vyavahara also. So, both the cases we can apply that Bhagavad Gita verse, which one, of course, Bhagavan describes the Jnani's characteristic by saying Pashyan, Shrunvan, Sprushan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Sopan, Swasan, Pralapan, Visrujan, Unmishan, Nimishan, right? So all this Pashyan, while seeing, Shrunvan, hearing, Pashyan, Shrunvan, Sprushan, touching, Jigran, smelling, Pashyan, Shrunvan, Sprushan, Jigran, Ashnan, eating, Ashnan, Gachan, walking, Swapan, sleeping. All these various activities are done by the Jnani. And this person also, Pashyan, Srunan, Sprushan, Jigran, he is also doing. But he has to constantly remind, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. He has to entertain that thought naturally. This person has not to entertain that thought, I am Brahmasmi. Even he is also Pashyan, Srunan, Sprushan, Jigran, etc. So basically, this person, Jnani, does not withdraw from the Vyavahara that has been said by Bhagavan by that verse. And because for him these transactions are mithya. So this mithya the world is mithya. The one who transacts with the world also is mithya, ahankara is mithya. And therefore, since he has the clear understanding that this everything is mithya and I am the satyam, therefore, well, this mithya thing cannot affect me, either ahankara or the world cannot affect me, and therefore he is not afraid of the vyavahara. So, whereas in this person's case, well, he knows that he is subject to prarabdha, I am a jiva, I am ahankara, etc., I am karta bhokta, and therefore a karma vyavahara or a jnana vyavahara definitely with the world, he thinks that he is affected. He is subject to sukha dukkha, etc. Therefore, he is little afraid of that lokika vyavahara. That's the difference between them. So, dhyana ekanishtaha api. This upasaka who does this upasana, or dhyana ekanishtaha means like a gopi also can say. So, this upasaka who does this upasana is committed to, his commitment is totally to that nirgunam Brahma. Like that gopi's commitment is to Krishna only. So, leshat laukikam acharet. Therefore, the leshat means, well, definitely minimum. Leshat laukikam acharet. Laukikam means vyavahara. So, well, he does, this upasaka does minimum worldly activity. Since he is afraid of the worldly activity, vyavahara I mean, because he takes himself that this thing is going to affect me, that thing is going to affect me, that person is going to affect me, etc., etc. So definitely, I am subject to kama, krodha, lobha, everything, samsara. So then definitely he is afraid of the samsara, and therefore leshat laukikam acharet. He does minimum worldly activity. On the other hand, tattu, tu means kintu parantu means, well, to show the distinction from this upasaka. Tattvavittu means tu means this on the other hand. Tattva means this wise person who knows that I am Satyam Brahma and the world is mithya, the ahankara is mithya. There is a transaction between guna guneshu vartante. So definitely ahankara transact with the world, etc. That is mithya, and that mithya thing cannot affect me, the Satyam. And therefore, definitely for this person, for a jnani, he is not afraid of the vyavahara. He does. And definitely he assumes that ahankara becomes a role for that person only. So, laukikam samyag acharet. See, so dhyana ekanishtaha leshat laukikam acharet. The upasaka, well, definitely does minimum worldly activity. Whereas this tattvavit, laukikam samyag acharet. He fully involved in the vyavahara. He knows this, like they give an example that a person who takes up a role in a film, that he is fully involved in that, fully involved. And totally, as a beggar, whatever is to be done, he does it as per the script. And he does with a full involvement also, because knowing that is mithya. So the very beggarhood is mithya, and as a beggar, whatever transaction has to be done in a film, whatever by following the script, it is also equally mithya. And therefore he does perfectly, because he knows all this, the very beggarhood and the transactions as a beggar is not going to affect me, the rich person, actor. And therefore he does it very well. Same thing is with our jnani. So tattvavittu laukikam samyak acharet. Samyak means fully here. He acharet means he does fully involved in the vyavahara. Laukikam here means all laukik vyavahara. Avirodhitvat. What is the reason? Because they can't displace my asamsari status. This beggarhood cannot displace my rich man status, because that's a mithya. Generally, if both are of an equal order of reality, that one affects the other naturally. One is there, other will not be there. If I am a beggar and at the same time I am a rich person, not possible. But if it is a role of the beggar, then definitely it cannot affect me. Mithya thing cannot affect me. And so same way mithya samsari role, and this cannot affect my asamsari hero status, etc. So mithya role, samsari role, and this satya asamsari hero status are not opposed to each other. Avirodhitva, not opposed to each other. And that is how even for a jnani, how karmas are possible, etc. is a big issue. How Jnana and karma cannot go together, that is the Bhashakara's favorite topic. Jnana karma samuchaya. So, well, that is there. So, definitely Jnanam and karma cannot go together. Means moksha is not possible. Moksha, one cannot gain moksha by the samuchaya, combination of Jnanam, Aham Brahmasmi Jnanam, at the same time doing all Nitya Karma, etc. Then only one gains, say, moksha. Well, that's not true. Bhashyakara has proved many places, in Bhagavad Gita also, in several places he discussed that. But Jnana Karma Abhasa Samuchaya is possible. Because for Jnani, all this is mithya, right? The very kartrutvam is mithya, the ahankara is mithya, and as a karta who is mithya, the transaction with the world which is equally mithya. So, well, that's possible. You can have a jnanam, that I am Brahman, at the same time, all worldly activities are possible for a jnani. So, jnana karma abhasa samuchaya, that kind of combination is possible. Jnana karma samuchaya is not possible. Moksha is possible, one has to do karma all throughout the life as a karta. At the same time, I am a karta also. Well, this thing together cannot remain. I am karta is mithya, I am akarta is the truth. Well, then it is no problem. Verse 88. Mayamaya prapanchoyam atma chaitanya rupadruk iti bodhe virodakah laukika vyavaharinaha iti bodhe. Well, for a jnani, iti bodham is jnanam. For a jnani, this knowledge is there. What knowledge? What? So that says here, ayam mayamaya prapancha. This is a fact for this person. Ayam mayamaya prapancha. Prapancha means a name and form, which is mayamaya. Definitely, which is a maya, which is mithya. Mithya. Mayamaya means me, which is mithya. Name and forms are mithya. Means whether it is there or not, we cannot decide. We cannot categorize the world. We cannot categorize the ahankara. We cannot categorize the body. We cannot categorize the thought. We cannot categorize prana. We cannot categorize sense organ. Nothing. Entire thing which is Maya, mithya. Everything will serve the purpose. At the same time, you will never be able to ascertain whether it is there or not. We are not talking about imagination. No imagination here. It's not a body's imagination and illusion. This is illusion. Thought is illusion. Nothing is illusion. No illusion. It has a reality. But reality means, well, basically it is existent, no. But then, well, then it is not existent, non-existent. No, it serves the purpose, therefore it is existent. Okay, then it is real. No, it is not real. This is how it is. This is called Maya, Sadasadhyana, which is not available for categorization. Such kind of a body, mind, thoughts, memory, and the hunger, thirst, and pranas, and the senses, and the organs of action, physical body, and the world. This is a prapancha, Maya Maya. So entire prapancha is basically this this Maya Maya. No reality as such. It is not. It's not totally non-existent. It is not existent. That kind of a thing. Aham Atma Chaitanya Rupa Druk. Chaitanya Rupa, Chaitanya Swarupa Druk. I am well consciousness by nature. Valiti Bodhe Sati. This world basically is mithya, including body, mind, senses. And Aham Atma Chaitanya Rupa Druk. I am consciousness by the nature. Iti Bodhe Sati. When this is understood, this is when you have this knowledge. Laukika Vyavaharina, by continuing a Laukika Vyavara between this ahankara and the world, that Vyavara, which is of the type of a Kaika Vyavara or a Vachika Vyavara or a Manas Vyavara. Whatever type of Vyavara. Vyavara at the physical level, Vyavara at the verbal level, or Vyavara at the mental level. All these Vyavaras, Laukika Vyavara, and by continuing Laukika Vyavara, Ko-virodha, once you understand it is, well, that it is really, it's not real, the Ko-virodha, well, then where is the question of opposing such a Vyavara for a Jnani, who has this knowledge that I am Atma Chaitanya Rupadruk. I am the very basis. This is not this I am beyond this world or I am beyond the body, etc. It's not true. It's really not true. Because you are immanent. You are, when you say you are all pervading, therefore you are present in every name and form. Present means present, fully present. At the same time, you are distinct from that. And therefore they are not separate from you, you are distinct from them. So that's how it is immanent and etc. we say, and transcends. Transcend in terms of a reality. Well, definitely when I look at myself as a consciousness, I feel that there is nothing other than me. When I look at the names and forms, well, that definitely I am the basis of all names and forms. I am the very truth of names and forms, etc. Either way. So that way I am immanent, present in every name and form, fully. At the same time, well, I transcend all, really speaking. That's how Bhagavan said even in the 7th chapter also. The same thing. Anyway, so Laukika Vyavaharinaha Kaha Virodha. Let it come, whatever comes. So this tragedy or a comedy, whatever comes in Jnani's life, he is not afraid. He doesn't run away from the Vyavahara. We should know one thing from this discussion, one thing, one truth. If we are afraid of the Vyavahara, we have not yet established in knowledge. That's for sure. That's what I want to say from this. If a Jnani has no problem at all in doing Vyavahara, understanding Mithya, then definitely, and the Upasaka definitely is afraid of the Vyavahara, then definitely I am like Upasaka, I am a samsari. Samsari definitely is afraid of Vyavahara because that brings a contact between me and the world, me, the Ahankara and the world. Well, the world is equally real, Ahankara is equally real for me, and that contact is going to bring Sukha, Dukkha, etc., and especially Dukkha, and therefore I keep away. So base thing is we ourselves can judge whether I have really owned up this knowledge or not by what is our drishti towards the Vyavahara. If I can be fully involved in Vyavahara, if I don't be afraid of it, if I don't run away from the Vyavahara, then there is a chance that yes, I have owned up this knowledge. Anyway, now verse 89. Apekshate vyavahritihi na prapanchasya vastutam napyatmajadyam kintvesha sadhananyeva kankshati. So here Vidyaranya answers a question that suppose Jnani knows that all roles, basically Ahankara also is a role, whatever, they are mithya, then knowing that, well, I'm a teacher also is a role, suppose, and I'm consciousness is the truth. So then while all roles are mithya, so then will I be able to continue all Vyavahara as before? Earlier I was thinking that I am so and so. Now I know that I am husband, etc. is mithya. So therefore I am husband, etc. Then will I able to do my duties as a husband or not? Suppose if you gain knowledge, then I am Brahman is a reality and I am husband is a role. Fine. In fact, there are two steps in this. First thing is you should know that you are a basic conscious being who is totally objective. First thing is this, not I am consciousness is, that jump will never come. That jump will never come. You first thing is you have to understand a certain objectivity in transaction. That basically I am a conscious being who is objective, non-demanding, appreciative. And that kind of a person you invoke, which is a basic person in fact, that basic person you invoke when you, in a transaction you invoke, when you go to the nature. When you see a mountain, it's a transaction, Jnana Vyavahara. You are seeing, mountain is object, you are subject. There you are very comfortable. Or you see a creek, you see a beautiful forest, all Vyavahara, subject, object, transaction. But you are comfortable. Why? Because you transact as a basic person. Yeah. You are non-demanding with respect to the creek. with respect to the forest, with respect to the mountains, with respect to the birds, with respect to the sunrise, anything. So transaction definitely brings a pain. No. Discomfort. No. No. When you come home, that's it. Same person comes home. Discomfort. Same person. Home. World. Mountains. World. At one place you are comfortable, other place you are not comfortable. You see yourself a comfortable person. That shows, well, something more than the basic person arises in the home. Yeah, naturally. And what is that? Well, I'm husband. That's so what? No, I definitely care for my wife. Wonderful. So what? No, therefore, since I love and have a care, therefore I have certain demands, certain wish from her. That she should be like this, she should not be like this, she should behave like this, she should talk like this, she should cook like this. All these things. That's it. So your own agenda disturbs you. Love and care doesn't disturb you. Love and care doesn't disturb you, your own agenda. Demands, certain wish towards the person disturbs you. Yeah. You are no more objective person. When you are demanding, you are no more objective person. Because you want to fulfill a wish by this. And definitely, so that basically a person loses the objectivity in a certain transactions, then he becomes discomfortable. You have to drop the agenda. Appreciating who you are basically. While appreciating the mountains, etc., seeing the mountains, etc., transacting with the mountains, etc., in terms of seeing, etc., you are comfortable totally with yourself. The objective, appreciative, non-demanding conscious being. And here in the home, well, definitely, just because you think that you love and care for the person, well, you put a lot of demands. And you justify it. Since I care for the person, I have demands. You say that. That's not true. Love and care need not disturb you. Your own agenda, the demands disturb you. You should realize it. And well, then if you drop that demand, definitely you will appreciate again yourself as a... But who said like this, Swamiji? You are bringing all this imagination. No, Bhagavan said in the 5th chapter end, Sparshan krutva bahirbahyan chakshushevantare bruho. Sparshan krutva bahihi bahyan. The objects which are external, sparshaha, sprashante is sparshaha, the objects which are external, keep them external. Who am I to keep them external? Objects are external. Who am I to keep them external? No, certain objects, mountains, etc., are external, remain external because I don't have a wish. If I have a certain demand from them, in form of a demand, they are in my mind. Yeah. And so certain objects which are not just external, they are internal too, in form of demands. And therefore, they disturb. They don't disturb, really speaking. Your demands for them disturb you. That's what it is. So, Bhagavan wants to, before talking about meditation in the 6th chapter, Bhagavan wants to say that you become a basic person. You are a basic person. You cannot become basic person, but you you do a certain things in order to arrive at the basic person, bringing the objectivity. Well, and then you become a comfortable. And as a basic person, you relate to the Lord in the mind, etc. Well, husband doesn't meditate on the Lord. Wife does not meditate on the Lord. A basic person meditates on the Lord. We should know this. A basic person, the meditator is a basic person who is objective, who is comfortable with oneself, who has nothing else in the mind because he has dropped the demands. So everyone is unloaded from his mind. Everyone is unloaded. If demands are there, they are loaded. Demand for the person brings the person inside and doesn't go out. So kindly understand, first one has to realize that is the first meditation where you have to realize I am a basic, objective comfortable, conscious person. Then this next step is I'm not just conscious being, individual, I'm consciousness. Who is conscious of the world, conscious of the mind, conscious of the senses, conscious of the body, conscious of the breathing, is literally consciousness. So this is how Aham Atma Chaitanya Rupadrik. Everything is pervaded by the consciousness, which is mithya. Everything has a being in the consciousness. I am the only being, really speaking, I am the conscious being who is limitless conscious being. Everything has a being in me, etc. And that way it is all mithya. Whether it is a ahankara or whether it is a world. So laukika vyavaharinaha ko virodha. Then there will not be any 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 issue in a vyavahara. Anyway, and so here in 99 said, suppose Jnani knows all these roles, mithya, of course, ahankara mithya means all roles are mithya. Well, will he be able to continue vyavahara or not? Well, it is possible. Like, the actor plays, for actor, every role, of course, is mithya. He knows it also, but he plays it very effectively. And Puja Swamiji used to tell it also. That even in a movie, you want, you want to see the hero who plays a certain role, goes through the challenges. You want it. Suppose there is no challenge at all, only one rasa. Ananda rasa is there from beginning to end. And he used to narrate it a long. A person who is born in a family and he very brilliant boy. All the exams he comes first. All the sports he comes first. And he has so much gold medals, he has a lot of gold. But in fact, this all gold medal, gold is really not gold. After a few years, it turns to copper. And he, and he talks like that. And then he grows. Oh, very brilliant boy, got admission in Harvard and doing PhD in quantum mechanics. And on the other side, there is another family in that family there is a girl who is also equally brilliant, and she also grows. It's all in a movie, suppose. And she also grows, and she also has all medals, all sports, everywhere she comes first. And now she has come to Stanford, and she is doing PhD in literature, English literature, suppose. I'm just saying, because why we have to show the contrast. If that person also of a quantum mechanics, the girl also quantum mechanics doing PhD, and this person boy also, then they may certainly match. They may have a certain, but literature and quantum mechanics, they just can't stand each other. But anyway, so therefore, this girl also is brilliant, got admission, and is working in Stanford. You are seeing everything, and they shadi.com, etc. they have come in contact with each other and got married. Now they have a child. As the genes of the parents, you also equally, they have one baby child, the boy, and this girl. And they also grow like that. Everywhere first. And then, they also grow. They also got married. The partners also like that. And they got a child. Now, the boy, this person, the boy actually, takes the child and puts in the grandfather's lap. And that's there the movie ends. You feel, what is there to see in this movie? Yeah. Either a role in a film or role in this world is never free from problems. No role, either in a film or in this world, as a husband, wife, whatever. Husband in a film or husband in a real life has all issues. But the basic person, the consciousness has no issue at all. One who assumes the role has no issue. That's what. So this person who knows the role says mithya. Role is a person. Person is not a role. That's understanding. For Ajnani, person and role are identical. He doesn't know. The person here is basically, I am the consciousness of the person. Anyway, we'll talk about this verse 89 and other verses later. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.